Six Flags has just announced the closure of Six Flags America, located in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, in the Washington, D.C. metro area. The park is closing after this season, with its last day of operation coming in early November. This is the first park closure we've seen since the legacy Six Flags and Cedar Fair chains merged to form this new super chain. The company released a statement saying, quote, Six Flags America is not a strategic fit for our long-term growth plan, end quote. That's basically corporate speak for, this park doesn't generate enough profit for the plot of land it's on, and we want to get rid of it. Remember that this park is located east of Washington, D.C., and is in its massive metropolitan area, so land is extremely expensive where that park is. As a result, the chain is going to make a fairly sizable amount of money by selling the 500 acres that they own for redevelopment. Frankly, I'm not really surprised by this move. Six Flags has been making it clear in their investors' meetings and quarterly reports that they have been examining their portfolio to see which parks they can sell for a profit. The legacy Cedar Fair chain already announced years ago that California's Great America in the San Francisco Bay Area is set to be closed by 2033. In 2022, Cedar Fair actually sold the ground beneath the park to a real estate firm for $310 million, and they're just leasing the land back from that firm until the park closes. It's also important to mention that Cedar Fair was essentially the company that absorbed the Six Flags chain, then took on the Six Flags name for brand recognition. This makes Six Flags America the second park that the chain has permanently closed and sold in the last 3 years. The park has been generally considered to be one of the worst in the Six Flags chain for quite some time now. Visitors have complained about the park atmosphere, relatively poor operations, and weak coaster collection compared to other parks in the region. Given all of these factors, families have seemed to choose to drive to other parks such as Kings Dominion, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and Hershey Park. All three of those are within a 2-hour driving radius of the DC Metro, so they all compete with each other for attendance from the DMV area. And Six Flags has Dorney Park and Great Adventure about 3 hours north up the East Coast, near New York and Philadelphia, which make this weaker park a little bit redundant. We will have to see if any of the coasters at Six Flags America are relocated to other parks throughout the chain. Their largest coaster is Superman Ride of Steel, an Intamin mega coaster, which is 25 years old. At that age and that size, I think the chances of relocation are zero, and Darien Lake will make use of its parts. Batwing is a 24-year-old Vekoma Flying Dutchman and is the last of its model in the world. Again, I think this coaster is done for and will not be relocated anywhere. Joker's Jinx is a premier spaghetti bowl that was installed in 1999, meaning it is 26 years old at this point. Of the coasters mentioned so far, I think this has the best chance of being saved, though it is still slim. These spaghetti bowl coasters can easily be installed on a flat plot of concrete, so it wouldn't be the hassle of the others, but that age stands out to me as the reason why it probably won't be relocated. Another coaster that is sadly done for is probably Firebird, which is actually the first ever B&M coaster, although it originally operated at Great America. At this point, the track itself is 34 years old, and Six Flags will scrap it, but probably send the floorless trains to other parks. Another coaster to likely meet this exact same fate will be their SLC, but I'm somewhat intrigued to see where the trains go, because these trains have the new soft strap restraints. I think it will be Batman the Ride at Six Flags Mexico or Thunderhawk at Michigan's Adventure. The last two coasters which won't be saved at Six Flags America are Wild One and Roar, which are both wooden coasters. Finally, the two coasters which I think have by far the highest chances of being relocated are Ragin' Cajun, which is a Wild Mouse, and Great Chase, which is a Zamperla Gravity Kids coaster. Both of these will be very easy to relocate and can go basically anywhere with their small footprint. It also seems there is a small chance moving forward that Six Flags will announce more park closures in the not too distant future, given those corporate statements I mentioned earlier. I've heard Dorney Park mentioned because of its proximity to Great Adventure, but Dorney is not located directly in a major metro area like California's Great America or Six Flags America. It's within driving distance of New York and Philadelphia, but the park is located in Allentown, which is a much smaller and separate urban area, so there isn't the same level of demand for real estate. To be completely honest, I don't see any other parks that are in the same situation as SFA or CGA. By that, I mean parks that are located in massive metro areas but are underperforming in terms of attendance therefore making the real estate more valuable than the park itself. Any other park in the same geographical situation, such as over Texas in the DFW area, Canada's Wonderland in Toronto, or Knott's Berry Farm in the LA area, actually make money, so it's not the same situation. Overall, while this is a sad moment for the people who call this their home park and those who work there, it really isn't too surprising. A park that has 12 million people within a 1 hour drive but only pulls in a little over 1 million visitors per year is clearly underperforming, and anyone could have seen this coming. However, any other park closures by this chain in the future will be a lot more of a surprise to me. What do you think about this move by Six Flags? What park could you see being shuttered next? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching.